Have you ever looked at a plant and just felt like it was trying to tell you something? I mean, some plants are just decoration, right? But others, like the Anthurium, they seem almost sculpted to make a point. So let's dive into this living metaphor.
You've probably seen one of these before. That striking, glossy, almost perfectly heart-shaped structure. It's so vibrant and so precisely formed, it can almost look fake, right? Like someone polished a piece of plastic. It's a plant that just immediately grabs your attention with that familiar shape and bold color.
But beyond its obvious beauty, this plant holds a whole series of quiet lessons in its very structure, in its way of life, and even in its name. So what is the deeper message behind this enduring heart? Our journey here begins with a fascinating illusion, because the very first thing we think we know about the Anthurium is actually a huge misunderstanding. And this is exactly where its first lesson is hiding.
And here it is. This is the central puzzle of the Anthurium. That big, beautiful, heart-shaped part that we all call the flower, well, it isn't one. Not at all. And this single fact, it unlocks the entire story of the plant.
So to really get what's going on, we need to look a little closer. Let's break down the biology of this plant, because its anatomy is really the key to its symbolic power.
To solve the puzzle, we've got to look at the plant's botanical structure. This diagram here gives us a kind of roadmap, breaking the Anthurium down into its key parts. So let's zoom in on what we thought was the flower.
Okay, so get this. That stunning heart-shaped part is called the spathe. And it's not a collection of petals. It's a single, specialized leaf that's designed to attract attention. It's the platform, the stage. But it is not the main event. And this is the main event. The spadix, that little tail that rises from the center, is actually a super dense cluster of hundreds of tiny, true flowers. They're intricate, they're essential, but they're so easy to overlook. And this illustrates the plant's first sermon perfectly. We're all drawn to the big, showy spathe, but the real life, the true flowers, are in the humble, detailed spadix. It's such a powerful metaphor for valuing that hidden faithfulness over some big public spectacle.
But the lessons don't stop at the flower. The way the Anthurium lives in its natural habitat offers another really profound layer of meaning, and this time, it's about where we find our strength.
Now this is a crucial biological fact. In the rainforests, a lot of anthuriums don't root themselves in the ground. They're epiphytes, which is a fancy word that just means they make their home way up high on the branches of other trees.
So how do they live up there? Well, they anchor themselves firmly to a host tree, but they're not a parasite. They pull moisture right out of the humid air, and they gather nutrients from the decaying leaves and debris that collect around them. Their entire existence is, well, it's elevated. So the crucial point is that their sustenance doesn't come from what's below them, but from what they are clinging to above them. It's a living picture of a life that draws its security and its identity not from earthly things, but by anchoring itself to something higher.
Next up, let's talk about that incredible shine. That waxy, glossy surface of the Anthurium isn't just for looks. It has a message all its own about where true radiance comes from.
You see, that polished look isn't a coating or some wax that's been applied to the surface. It's literally built into the plant. The actual cells of the spathe are structured in a way that causes them to beautifully reflect light. The shine comes from within.
And this is just such a beautiful parallel. The idea isn't to manufacture our own shine or polish ourselves up through sheer effort. It's about abiding in the light, being in that presence for so long that it changes our very structure, causing us to reflect it naturally.
The Anthurium also preaches a sermon on endurance. Its long-lasting beauty and its symbolic colors teach us about a different kind of strength, one that persists.
Think about it. So many flowers offer this spectacular but really fleeting burst of beauty. The Anthurium is different. Its colorful spathe stays vibrant not for days, but for weeks, sometimes even months. It's a symbol not of a momentary flash, but of sustained, enduring faithfulness.
And beyond its endurance, the Anthurium also speaks to its colors. Now, they come in many shades, but that bold red and that pure white are two of the most iconic, and each one carries a really rich layer of symbolic meaning. In this silent sermon of color, red speaks of deep love and sacrifice, of covenant. White points to purity and righteousness, and pink, well, it evokes a sense of gentleness and grace. This plant preaches a whole theology without ever saying a word. And finally, just look at its posture. The heart-shaped spathe opens wide, almost like it's in an act of surrender or welcome.
And from that open heart, the spadix, the collection of true flowers, of true worship, rises straight up, pointing toward heaven. It's a perfect picture of worship, flowing naturally from an open heart. We've deconstructed its anatomy, its habitat, its shine, and its endurance. So when we put it all back together, what's the final, powerful message that the Anthurium is offering us?
Ultimately, I think this is what the Anthurium teaches, that true beauty is steadfast. It's a radiance that comes not from spectacle, but from being properly structured and anchored. It reflects light because it abides in the light. It's a quiet, enduring symbol of a life made beautiful from the inside out.